Bonjour, friends. So, I wanted to talk to you about my retreats because I recently posted that I have a new set of dates, and I got a lot of messages from people that were so sweet and kind and curious about what I do and how I do it. So, I thought I would try to share this message here. So, if anybody really wants to dig into the details, but please don't let this stop you from contacting me directly. That's what's most important, to see if this is a fit. So my retreats revolve around the seasons. That's a rhythm that is so important to me, and I think it's something that we need to tap into. And those seasons are le printemps, the spring. So I have a spring retreat. And we know that the spring is about planting seeds. And I always reference this concept of a jardin secret, your secret garden. This is where you're cultivating all those dreams and ideas that you keep to yourself until you're ready to bring them into the world. So that's what the spring is for me. It's imagining and planting and creating. So my spring retreat is very much around that. And of course, in the summer, you have the season of growing. This is when things should be flourishing and growing, and you're working the land constantly to create. And then we have the fall, which is the harvest, which my retreat I call la vendange. It's a nod to wine because we are in France. And I think the vendange is so special, that harvest is so special. It's a look back at what you've produced and what you've created and admiring it, admiring your hard work and celebrating it. And using that hard work for clues as to what's next. And what comes after the fall is the winter. Another beautiful time. Nothing dies in the winter. It doesn't end. The winter is the start of a spring. That's actually a quote, a beautiful quote that I love. And in the winter, things might go within, they might go quiet, but they're still there. And the winter is a wonderful time to think and imagine and plan those crops of your jardin secret for the spring ahead. So that's how my retreats work. They're very much based in the seasons, because I think that's also a reflection of our lives. Now, here's what's particular about the way I do things. My retreats are intimate. They're maximum usually 6 ladies here with me. And that's very important to me because they're such a part of the experience. The women that make the decision to come to Paris are such an important part of the experience, and they are the magic. So you've heard me say the things that are important to me in taking risks. And we're always taking risks. We're always taking risks. We're always deciding to do this or that. They're both a risk. You need to have courage, curiosity, creativity, and community. Those things are very important to me. And the biggest risk we have to take is to find fulfillment, is to find what speaks to us. And sometimes we get lost in the noise of everything else around us. So my retreats, I don't craft the experiences until I know who will be here with me. I don't feel that I could provide a meaningful experience if I have a preset itinerary and I have no clue who's going to be here. So I do have a questionnaire because I want to understand, where are you in your life? What are you thinking? What's important to you? What are the big decisions that you have to make? All of those elements of those 6 women, I keep in mind as I'm creating the itinerary once I know who's joining. Now, what does that mean? That means it takes a lot of courage and a lot of curiosity for someone to raise their hand and say, I'm coming to Paris, without much information at all. But I know that those are my women. I know that those are my community. And I also know that they're going to walk into a room and see others just like them who are willing to take that risk. And I also believe, here's my little secret sauce if you wanted to know. If you start with that small risk of believing in your intuition, which tells you you should be in Paris, you don't have all the information, but you're willing to go and you're open and you trust yourself to make that decision, you'll get much more out of it than the 3 days in Paris, because that is the first test to you discovering the magic in you. So those are my retreats, my friends. That's how I do it. That's my secret sauce. And it's the ladies that join me here that make the magic. And they have been incredible. And if you think that you'd love to participate in that type of experience, you let me know. A bientôt, mes amis.